Okay, so I think there are a few players out there that are very undervalued and underappreciated. Is it because they're not in the Hall of Fame? Some of them are in the Hall of Fame. I want to look at four of these players today. I want to start by looking at just their statistics and compare them against another player whose cards are significantly more valuable. So we're going to go side by side, statistic by statistic, and take a look at four players. Four players where I don't understand why their cards are not more valuable. First off, comparison number one. On the left, this is a 10-time All-Star. This player batted over 309 different times. In fact, 9 out of 11 of his first years was a batting champ. Never won an MVP, but had a career batting average over 300. He scored over 100 runs, but he is not in the Hall of Fame. We're comparing him to a player on the right who was a 5-time All-Star, only batted over 300 twice, never won a batting title, did win an AL MVP, and has a career batting average of 273. This player scored more runs. He scored 100 runs twice and is in the Hall of Fame. And when you compare the two statistics, you could definitely make an argument that the player on the left is the player who had the better career. But he's not in the Hall of Fame, and his cards are significantly less valuable. So you might ask, who are they? Well, on the left is Harvey Kuenn, and on the right is Phil Rizzuto. Phil Rizzuto is a Hall of Famer and a Yankee legend. Now, is Harvey Kuenn not in the Hall of Fame? Is his cards less valuable because he's not a Yankee or a Dodger? Is it because he spent most of his career in the middle of the United States? I don't know. But if you look at his statistics, you would think that his cards would be very valuable. You would think that he would be a Hall of Famer, but he's not. So it is really, really interesting to me that statistics don't necessarily say how valuable a card is. You would think there would be a correlation, a direct correlation between the two. So when we look at the value of a Harvey Kuenn rookie card, it's under $100 in a PSA 8. In 1954, his Topps card is less than $90. Phil Rizzuto, whose rookie card was several years earlier. So this isn't his rookie card. He's got several cards before this, but his 54 Topps is worth $585. It's worth 6 times as much, over 6 times as much as the Harvey Kuenn rookie. How is that even possible? Harvey Kuenn had an amazing career. He was a regular All-Star. He was an outstanding hitter. He batted 309 times in his first 11 years. Phil Rizzuto was a good player. He was an announcer. He was on the Yankees. He had a big personality. I get all that. But shouldn't Harvey Kuenn's rookie card be worth more than this? If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please take a second to do that. The second comparison. On the left, we have a 12-time All-Star, a 6-time World Series champion, an AL MVP, and a 2-time Gold Glover. This player batted .274 for his career. On the right, we have an 8-time All-Star, a 3-time World Series champion, never won an MVP, 3 Gold Gloves, and had a career batting average of .273. So when you compare these two just on their statistic line, on their highlights, it seems like if the player on the right is in the Hall of Fame, that the player on the left would be in the Hall of Fame as well. But they're not. The one on the right is a Hall of Famer. And the card value of the player on the right is significantly more than the player on the left. It's really confusing to me how this is possible. So who are these players? Well, On the left is Elston Howard, and on the right is Gil Hodges. And Elston Howard's numbers are for a catcher. This is a World Series catcher 6 times over, 12-time All-Star. It is unbelievable to me that A, he's not in the Hall of Fame, but B, why are his cards not worth more money? Now, Gil Hodges was a great player. I'm not trying to say that he wasn't. And the curious thing about this one is these are both big-time franchises. This is the Dodgers and this is the Yankees. But why wouldn't Elston Howard be worth more? Not only that, Elston Howard is the first African-American player on the Yankees. That's a significant thing in itself. That should make him extra special in itself. Yet somehow his card values just aren't there. So what do I mean by that? Well, look, an Elston Howard rookie 1955 Bowman card is $95 in a PSA 6. This is a tough border. This is a tough year. And his rookie card in a 6 is under $100. Now, this is not Gil Hodges' rookie card. His rookie card is years before it. But a Gil Hodges PSA 6 in the 1955 Bowman is $225. So it's more than 2 times as valuable. Both are from major franchises. And this is Elston Howard's rookie card. Why is an Elston Howard card not worth more money than this? I could buy a nice copy of this card, a PSA 6 copy of this card in a 1955 Bowman, and it's under $100. This guy won an AL MVP. So that brings us to our third comparison. Again, on the left, a 9-time All-Star, 25 home runs or more 9 times, over 100 RBIs 6 times, a career batting average of .266, won an AL home run title and an AL RBI league title, is not in the Hall of Fame. But on the right, this player is a 10-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glover, had 2016 career hits, a career batting average of .260, won 2 World Series championships, and is in the Hall of Fame. But if you look at that player on the left, this is a good quality player. 25 or more home runs in the vintage era, 9 times, 100 or more RBIs, 6 times. This is not the steroid era. This is in the 1950s and 60s. These are incredible numbers. Not only is this player not in the Hall of Fame, but as you'll see in a second, his cards are not worth much at all. I don't understand it. So who are these 2 players? Well, on the left is Rocky Colavito, not in the Hall of Fame. On the right is Bill Mazeroski. Again, no one's trying to say Bill Mazeroski's not a great player. He's got obviously a famous event in his career. But Rocky Colavito was a staple. He was a hitting machine for a decade. And somehow his cards just don't have much value. It doesn't make sense to me. Is being in the Hall of Fame that much more valuable for your cards? And why are these players not in the Hall of Fame? Why is Rocky Colavito not in the Hall of Fame? That doesn't make any sense to me either. So I'm really struggling to understand how you can have a decade of All-Star appearances, but your cards just don't carry much value. It does not make sense to me. So I almost feel like I'm reading this wrong. But Rocky Colavito's rookie card in a PSA 6, a 1957, is worth under $50? I mean, I'm paying $20 to $30 a card to get things graded. And it's less than $50 for a nice copy of a Rocky Colavito rookie? Now, Bill Mazeroski's rookie sold for just over $200. Is it 4 times more valuable? Is this just because these players are playing in the Midwest? Is this because these players are not on the coasts? Are these because these players aren't on the big teams? If you play for the Indians, now the Guardians, it's not worth as much as if you play for the Pirates or the Dodgers or the Yankees? So let's take a look at the fourth and final comparison. So on the left, I have a 6-time All-Star, 7-time NL home run leader, led the league in home runs 7 times. Also led the NL in RBIs, had 35 home runs or more 7 times, 100 RBIs or more 6 times, and is in the Hall of Fame. On the right, we have a 10-time All-Star, so he made up more All-Star games, had 4 times was a home run leader, 3-time RBI leader, hit 35 or more home runs 3 times, and had 100 RBIs or more 8 times. Also a Hall of Famer. So maybe this is not just you're in the Hall of Fame, you're not in the Hall of Fame. I think there are just players whose cards aren't as valuable, even though their numbers were really, really good. So I'm still struggling with this. Somebody tell me what I'm missing. So who are the 2 players in this comparison? Ralph Kiner and Johnny Mize. Johnny Mize is considered one of the better players of his era. But compared to Ralph Kiner's numbers, Ralph Kiner was a monster. This guy was an absolute feared hitter machine who just continued cranking out home runs. He had a shortened career due to injuries, but my goodness, this guy was incredible. When we look at a rookie card for Ralph Kiner, $142.50. Now, this is his Bowman rookie. He also has a 48 leaf, but his Bowman rookie card in a PSA 4 is under $150. Johnny Mize, this is far from Johnny Mize's rookie card, and his is $140, and the values are similar. They're both Hall of Famers, but this is Ralph Kiner's rookie card. I mean, this guy was one of the most feared hitters for a decade. This guy led the league year after year in home runs and was racking up RBIs year after year. Why aren't his cards worth more? This card is 75 years old. And in a 4, I mean, that's a nice looking card. It's not worth $150. I'm really struggling to understand this. I know that there's popularity of it. I know it's supply and demand. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you did. It really helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm and getting more out there.